Hello everyone, Justin Patton here, Leadership and Communication Coach. And so 2 weeks ago, I was in Philadelphia training 150 leaders on leadership and communication skills. And we talk a lot about is the way that we lead and parent and show up in relationships, is it really rooted in love or is it rooted in fear? And during one of the activities, the CEO that brought us in pulled me to a side and he goes, "Can I ask you a question?" And the question really rocked my world. He goes, we talk so much about love, and he goes, "I totally believe that." And he's counseled people before that deals with addictions or the people that are impacted by addictions. And he says, "What's the difference between loving versus enabling?" And I gotta tell you all, it completely rocked my world. I didn't have an answer. I'd never thought about the difference between loving someone versus enabling someone, and how would you define the difference? And I asked him, I was like, "Can you give me some time? I really want to step back and think about that and give it some thoughtful perspective." And so I spent the last 2 weeks really thinking about this, talking to friends and mentors and getting people's opinions. And I just want to share a few insights with each of you today about, are you loving someone or are you enabling them? And I want to just start a conversation. I don't have all the answers for this topic, so I want to just open it up, and I would love to hear what you think the difference between loving someone versus enabling someone really is. So fundamentally, this is kind of what I believe and what I've come up with. That if my love gets in the way of you taking accountability for yourself, then it's enabling. And there's two core principles that I really think between loving versus enabling. I think loving someone is very transformative and it's selfless, where enabling someone is very transactional and it's selfish. So I want to talk about each of those just really briefly and then get your opinion. So when I say that, unconditional love is very transformative, to me that means that I accept you right where you are in your journey, regardless of the choices that you've made, regardless of what you've been through in your life. And to me, transformative type of love allows you to take off all the masks that you've had to wear in your life because you didn't feel good enough, or people's comments or people's love didn't make you feel like you could be yourself. Transformative love says you can take off all those masks that you've had to wear in your life, that you can stop pretending, and that my love allows you the joy of just being yourself, and that I accept you and love you unconditionally for being that person. And sometimes that's really hard when we love people as much as we do, or we have certain beliefs or rules or about how we live our life, and to be able to accept people for who they are, regardless of what their choices are. That's transformative love. That to me is unconditional. And I think not only is loving transformative, I think it's selfless. And when I say selfless, that means, again, regardless of your choices, that I'm not going to withdraw, that I'm not going anywhere, that I still will always love you inside here. And when I say that I won't withdraw, I think I want to caveat that is I will never withdraw my love from you, but that doesn't mean that I give you passive acceptance to every decision you want to make. And I'm not going to passively agree with stuff that's self-destructive to you being your best self. And I think fundamentally, when we talk about selfless love, I think what makes that so hard is that we have to become detached from the outcome, that we have to detach ourselves from what might happen as the end result, from your choices, from your actions, and can I love you regardless of those? And I think sometimes that doesn't mean, when I say passive acceptance, I don't give you passive acceptance. And that doesn't mean sometimes I don't set really clear boundaries, just like we do with our kids when we love them so much that sometimes we want to protect them. That doesn't mean it's not unconditional. That means right where we are, I can love you so fully with every part of my being. But I'm not going to do that in a way that makes you disregard yourself, get it in the way of you taking accountability from yourself, from you being your best self, and you loving, and your actions can't get in the way of me loving myself unconditionally either. So that's kind of where I've been thinking about loving. And then I start thinking, well, what does it mean to really enable someone? And I think fundamentally, enabling someone is very transactional. That in my core, I believe that I have to do something for you or give you something or provide you something for my love to really count or for my love to really matter. So whether that's I'm going to have to keep giving you money, I'm going to have to give you a place to live, I'm going to have to always continue supporting you in these habits. And I think it becomes a very transactional relationship where unconditional love doesn't require you to give anything. It's completely about the feeling and about the way that I show up and make you feel accepted and loved regardless of what you've done. There's no transaction of anything else that has to happen for me to show you my love, where enabling someone becomes a very transactional relationship. And I think the reason I say that enabling someone is very selfish, because fundamentally, there's always something in it for me, that it's typically always rooted in fear. And so I don't want to feel guilty for doing or not doing something, so I enable you. So I give you the money. I give you a place to live for the 17th time. I do all these things because I don't want to feel guilty about myself. Or the other side of that is I want to have this kind of savior complex. And so regardless of the outcome, I want to make sure that I've done everything that I could possibly do. And so that I've tried to save the day, or I've done all this, that I can feel good about my conscience. And so often that's really rooted in our own selfishness and our belief that we have to do something to show and to prove our love, when really unconditional love doesn't require any of that. And so fundamentally, I think when we talk about loving, all of our actions, even the boundaries, even the things that we set, are always rooted in love. Where enabling someone, I think most of the time, it's really rooted in fear. And I'll just give you the last thing. The CEO, when I talked to him, he goes, I don't have all the answers. He goes, I've coached a lot of people that have been affected by addictions. And he goes, the one thing that you can really tell when you're enabling someone is after you've done the action or you've done the behavior that you did, you just get that feeling inside where you just know that something's just not feeling right, that it's not sitting with you, and you maybe feel guilty. That's when you know you're enabling someone. And I thought that was a really good perspective about how to just learn to listen to your body. So those are just a couple of things, that I've been thinking about the last couple of weeks. And so I would love to know kind of, what do you think? What do you think the difference between really loving someone unconditionally is versus really enabling them? So please share your thoughts. Help me grow. Help other people grow that watch this video, all right? If no one tells you today they believe in you, I want you to know that I believe in you. I hope you had a great weekend and you're getting ready to have an amazing week. I believe in you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.